Welcome to the second video of Unit 3 on Ancient Greece. In the second video, we will be covering Greek mythology and religion. We're going to talk about 6 specific gods and goddesses that you are expected to know for Greek mythology, and we'll talk about a couple more on top of that as well. We will also cover what exactly mythology is and the origins of Greek mythology, meaning the beginning story of Greek mythology. So you should be on the back of the first page of your notes packet where it says Guided Notes on Greek Mythology. And remember, everything that's underlined in these videos is what you should be filling in the blanks on your notes packet. Mythology is the story or myth of the Greek gods or goddesses. We will see that mythology is also going to apply to the religion in Rome as well, but they will follow different Greek gods or goddesses, and they will be Roman. There were 12 major Greek deities. Deity means God. There were 12 major Greek deities living on Mount Olympus, according to Greek mythology. And most are related, and each has their own story or myth. And we're going to go through some of those stories and myths. Greek religion is polytheistic. If you recall, polytheistic means belief in more than one god. Greek deities held human forms and human qualities. And Greeks used their religion to explain natural phenomenon, meaning things that happen naturally in the world. So the change of seasons, storms, things like tsunamis in the water, things like that. Human qualities and events in their lives. As we said, it is based on a polytheistic religion, belief in many gods, and gods explained natural phenomena, human qualities, and life events. So the people of ancient Greece believed that the gods were the ones who created natural phenomena. Humans get their qualities from the gods, things like jealousy and anger, happiness, things like that. And life events, so things that happen in life, are due to the gods. This is just a representation of those 12 main deities, and we are going to go through who several of these are as we move forward. Myths are traditional stories of the Greek gods or goddesses. So the stories as to where they came from, what they represent, what their importance is to the people of ancient Greece. Most are related, each has their own story, and gods could take on human emotions like love, hate, or jealousy. And we'll see that in some situations as we move forward here. The symbols and images of the gods and goddesses are still seen in Western literature, art, and architecture, even today. An example would be roses, a symbol of one of the gods or goddesses that is still used today. In today's culture, in American culture, roses are meant to represent love. There are different representations that come from different symbols that represent the gods or goddesses. Another example would be the goddess Athena. Her symbol, one of her symbols, is the owl, and she was the goddess of wisdom. The owl is considered very wise in our culture, and so if you've ever seen that commercial on how many licks does it take to get to the center of a lollipop, and the little boy is asking the owl, and then the owl goes 1, 2, 3, and then he just eats it. Well, the owl, he went to the owl because owls are considered wise. That comes all the way from ancient Greece, and the ideas of Athena, whose symbol is the owl, and she is the goddess of wisdom. So again, we see these symbols even today, literature, art, and architecture. So origins of the gods. This is the origin story of Greek mythology. According to Greek mythology, the god of the heavens and the earth had several children known as the Titans. One of the Titans, Kronos, was so afraid that his children would overthrow him that he swallowed them whole when they were born. He eventually swallowed his first 5 children: Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia. When Kronos' wife, Rhea, had her 6th child, who was Zeus, she wanted to put an end to this. She gave Kronos a stone wrapped up like a baby, which caused him to vomit up his children. Zeus and his brothers and sisters overthrew Kronos. Zeus became the king of the gods, but agreed to share their world with his brothers. Poseidon, the leader of the oceans and the sea, Hades, of the underworld and the afterlife, and Zeus of the sky and the heavens. So Zeus and his siblings become powerful gods or goddesses in ancient Greek mythology. 6 that you must know are going to be Zeus, Hera, Apollo, Artemis, Athena, and Aphrodite. I know there's a lot of A's in there. There are others, but these are the 6 that you must know for the purposes of this class. And we're going to go through each of their different traits. This here on the left image, you see an image of ancient Greece, or a section of ancient Greece where Mount Olympus is located. And if you take a look on the map on the right, the red cross is where that Mount Olympus is on a zoomed out map of Greece. It was believed in Greek mythology that the gods lived on Mount Olympus. So here's where we will start going through some specifics of the gods or goddesses. Zeus, the ruler of the gods, was ruler of the sky, weather, and thunderstorms. He was king of the gods. And Hera was his wife. Hera was the wife of Zeus, goddess of marriage and birth, and she had a lot of the human traits that we were talking about earlier. So she was very jealous of Zeus's relationship with other women. As according to Greek mythology, Zeus did have relationships with many other women. So her jealousy is an example of those human traits in the gods or goddesses. So again, Zeus, chief god, ruler of the sky, weather, and thunderstorms. And Hera, wife of Zeus, goddess of marriage and birth. So in the image that you were shown earlier, they would be the 2 sitting at the top because he is king of the gods, which would make her queen of the gods. Next we have Athena. And Athena is the one I mentioned to you earlier about the symbol being the owl. Athena is a daughter of Zeus, and according to Greek mythology, is his favorite child. And she is the goddess of wisdom and war. And she is considered the guardian of Athens. In fact, Athens is named after her. And the statue of Athena, there's a statue of Athena in the Parthenon, which is located in Athens. And it is a very important historical site. And if you ever get the chance to visit Greece, that would definitely be a place you would want to visit. And we'll talk more about the Parthenon as we move forward in this unit. So Athena is a daughter of Zeus and goddess of wisdom and war. So you can see there one of her images, one of her symbols is the owl. She has others. Each of the gods and goddesses have several symbols. You see a helmet, you see olives, and you see a snake. So this would be a representation of Athena. Next we have Aphrodite. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty, and some of her symbols are the dove and the rose. So Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty. Artemis is another daughter of Zeus, twin sister of Apollo. Artemis is the goddess of the hunt, childbirth, nature, harvest, and the forest. And her most commonly seen symbol is going to be bows and arrows. Now the way that I remember Artemis is you can think of hunting is like an art. It's really difficult to do. And so Artemis is goddess of the hunt. So these would be representations of Aphrodite and Artemis. You see Artemis with the bow and Aphrodite with the dove. Then we have Apollo. Apollo is a son of Zeus and god of the light. He is believed to drive the sun across the sky in his chariot. It is believed that Apollo brings the sun and takes it away by riding his chariot across the sky each day. If you have ever been to, I'm trying to think of the amusement park It's not King's Dominion, but it's the other one. And they have Apollo's chariot as one of the rides. It is named after the idea of Apollo and riding his chariot from Greek mythology. Apollo is also not only the god of light, but also of music, poetry, medicine, and knowledge. And one of his most common symbols is the snake. So this is a representation of Apollo. Those were the 6 that you must know. There are a couple more that may interest you that are part of Greek mythology as well, some of the major ones. Poseidon, we already mentioned, god of the sea. His symbol is the trident, and he is capable of shaking the earth and causing water to flow. He's the second most powerful god after Zeus, and again, he is brothers with Zeus and Hades. Hades is the god of the underworld and death, also mentioned earlier, brother to Zeus and Poseidon. He married Persephone after abducting her, and he was tricked into becoming lord of the underworld, ruling over the dead. He spends most of his time there, and he is considered a greedy god to Greek mythology. Ares is the god of war, particularly more of the harsh or brutal war or warfare. He is a son of Zeus, and he is known to be aggressive and arrogant, meaning he thinks that he knows everything. He's unpopular with the gods and mortals because of his aggressive and arrogant nature. He is not invincible. He could even be beaten by mortals, which is very uncommon amongst the gods and goddesses. And he could get hurt, and Zeus would have to heal him. And we also have Hermes, the messenger god. Hermes' main role was a messenger, especially for Zeus, and he took souls to the underworld, so he had the ability to travel to and from the underworld. And he also made the lyre, the handheld harp. So these are some of the extra gods that existed in Greek mythology. This is the end of the notes for Greek mythology, the second section of Unit 3 for World History 1.